off. Wegher, he cuts through one man, 5-yard pickup, 35-30. He's at the 25, he's at the 20, he's at the 15-10, and dives forward. Touchdown, Heelan Crusader.
My name is Zach Mathers. I'm a strength conditioning coach. I work for a company called CNOS Sports Medicine. We do a lot of strength conditioning services. I'm the director of those services. I've been working with Brandon Wegher for, this is probably my 5th or 6th year now that we've been working together. Not only is Brandon one of the most talented athletes, but he's also one of the hardest workers that we have. Continually puts in extra time, does extra sets, extra reps, always looking for that additional thing that he can do to make himself a better athlete. Not only do we do our weightlifting 4 days a week, we do 2 times a week with additional running, plus he plays intramural sports at his high school to keep himself in shape and keep things going right. And again, he's always looking for different things that we can do in the weight room, extra things he can do above and beyond, you know, the hour plus that we spend in there daily, or 4 times a week anyway. So he's an exceptional athlete with an exceptional work ethic. Would highly recommend him to any college that's looking at him. But like I said, this is my 5th year with Brandon, 6th year with Brandon, and he's done some great things for me in the past, and has continually gotten better and continually strive to get better. A lot of things we've done with Brandon is, again, we do a completely ground-based speed and agility program and a completely ground-based lifting program also. Everything we do is functional. Again, my basis is kind of the lower body and the core. Brandon's excelled at that. We do a lot of stuff on the ground based on speed and agility development. We don't do any treadmill work, we do everything on the ground basis. I believe that's our best way to functionally transfer our training methods to the field, and he works his butt off at those day in and day out. And, we do stuff extra on top of what they're required to do for their high school sports, and he just eats it up and loves to do it. Particularly one thing we do is a resisted running drill, which we do over the winter, which is grueling, which they've had about a month or so off since football got over. We meet twice a week and we just bury him. And there's about 15 to 20 kids that do it on a nightly basis, and he's always our leader. He's always one of the hardest workers at doing that. And again, like I said, he's not only one of our most talented athletes that we have, but he's the hardest worker, and he leads by example by showing up every night, showing up early, and staying a little late and doing the extra things that he really needs to do. So as far as specifics, I think you guys probably have all his numbers for his lifting and his running and his jumping and everything, and he's our top guy pretty much across the board in everything that we test for: squat, hang clean, bench, vertical, 40, 10, pro agility. He leads the way, and again, everything that we test for. And along with that, he continually, on the stuff that we don't test for, day-to-day workouts, he is continually the guy that is bumping his weight up, that's trying to do more than the next guy. There's a pretty tight-knit group of about 10 guys that are our top lifters, and Brandon's always the leader that as we go through that stuff, he's the one that wants to put the extra weight on. He's the one that wants to try 10 more pounds and see if he can do it. And by doing that, he leads those other guys and pulls them along with him. And again, I think that success and his leadership along with those other guys have really propelled them to the next level as far as their football careers are going. What we call Power Pole is actually a camp that we run for about 15 to 20 kids, and we run it twice a week. We start mid-January, and we go about 16 to 18 sessions twice a week. What it involves, the Power Pole specifically, is a resisted running device. What it is basically resisted running. It's a wheel instead of a sled with a brake attached to it, so it's actually a lot safer, a lot more efficient. The wheel just kind of slides along, it doesn't bounce. It's heavy enough that it doesn't bounce and rolls right along, and then when you stop, the brake engages and it kind of stops on its own, so it makes it a lot safer for athletes. Nothing runs up behind them, and becomes a lot safer. So we really like that. It's kind of became a popular trend. Kids love it and hate it at the same time, but it does a lot of good. And again, the benefits of resisted running are huge. So we've seen a lot of great gains in speed, explosion, and everything. To go along with it, again, we have about 18 kids, 15 to 18 kids, and we usually split them up into 2 groups. One group is doing the power pole and the sprints that follow it. The other group is doing some speed and agility, footwork stuff. We try to vary that up as much as we can every night. Sessions last between an hour and a half, depending on what we're trying to get across that night. But but we've seen a lot of incredible results out of using the power pole along with some speed and agility work. More specifically on the power pole aspect of it, every rep that we do with the power pole is always followed by something, usually a speed thing. So we try to get a good contrast between resisted running and then have them follow it up and feel the difference between a resisted running and a full speed sprint. We might also do some stuff where we do the resisted running with the power pole, do a rep of that, and then we follow it with a rep of an acceleration drill or a sprint, stop sprint drill, where we can really work on the transition and feeding that right back into what they do on the field. So again, the power pole has been an incredible tool for us to use. I think the kids that have been involved for the last 5 years of using it have seen immeasurable results doing it and really kind of separate themselves from the rest of the crew. But again, it's not just the power pole, but it's the combination of the power pole and the commitment these kids make, and then throwing in the speed and agility work and the explosion work along with it.
Wegher breaks away. He's to the outside, the 35, the 40, the 45 midfield.